Hello everyone, this is Flammy. Welcome back to episode 5. So today we're going to be doing a couple attacks and reviewing two recent attacks in my base. But first I got a couple things to talk about. So, since last time, during episode 5... Oh wait, this is totally episode 6. Totally messed it up. Episode 6, guys, welcome. So, during episode 5, which I lost the audio for, so there's no audio on that, I added a couple things, which I talked about, but then lost. So, I've added this gold storage, it's level 1 right here. I've also added this elixir storage, level 1 right here. So, one of the questions I got was, once you have two storages, two of each type, where do you put them? So, as you can see, these are both on the outside of my base and exceedingly unprotected. So, why are they out here? Well, if you open these up, they only have a teeny amount of resources. So, I don't actually care if this gets stolen, because they can only steal like 750 resources out of this, which is pretty much nothing anyways. It also helps because these guys have extra health, which helps protect the buildings, such as the turret that's right next to them. So you can see it's got not bad health, 400 health. That's more than these barracks right here. Not as much as these elixir collectors or mines. Once you start upgrading them, they get an absolute ton of health. So if I pull up this level 9, this has 1,800 health, which is very good even compared to the town hall, which is not that much more at 2,400. So, why do I have them outside? So, like I said, there's not much risk. I don't lose many resources when they get destroyed. But if they were higher levels, I would need to put them inside the walls. So if you're watching this and you want to replicate the space, where would you put them? I'd put one here instead of this cannon. So, right here in this hole. And I would put one here instead of this cannon. So, why am I moving the cannons out? Well, the archer towers are better than the cannons. Well, actually, technically, I think the cannons are a little bit better. I'll pull them up. So, this one does 31 damage. And this one does 35 damage. Okay, so archer towers are still better, but it's close. At lower levels especially, and so if your cannons and archer towers are not as well upgraded, the archer tower is definitely going to be better. In the next couple levels, the cannons are going to pull ahead. So as I was saying, you're going to have one storage here and one storage here. Your extra two, that is. For the extra cannons, where are you going to put them? So if you think about it, like, there seems to be a pretty valid choice. You could maybe put one up here, or maybe like move these walls out and put it in the corner. Well, wow, that seems like a good choice. And I'll say why it's a good choice first, and then I'll say why it's a terrible choice. So it's a good choice because this side of the base is fairly unprotected. All we have with this mortar really is the only long-range thing up here protecting this. Wizard Tower's only got short range, so it can't really protect these guys. And adding a cannon up here seems like it might be a good option. So maybe you could replace this mine, or as I said, move the walls out. Well, why is this a bad choice? Well, as you're going to see later, so a guy attacks me with giants, and he ends up deploying some of them up here. So when he deploys them, they end up walking around here, as I was hoping they would when I was designing the base. I talked about this, episode 2. And they end up attacking this air defense. But if I actually had a cannon right here, or right here, or right here, they would just walk through here and start attacking the cannon. That would be really bad, because as soon as the cannon was dead, they'd almost certainly come for this mortar next and bust through these walls. And what we want to protect is the mortar and the wizard tower, because they are splash damage buildings, which are our greatest line of defense. So that's why we would not want to place these two extra cannons I just moved. We would not want to place either of them up in this area. Where I would place them, though, I'd probably place one here, move the air defense out, and I'd probably place the other one next to it, and just keep moving the air defense out. But as is, we don't need to do that because we don't actually have two high-level storages that we need to protect. So I'll put these guys back where they belong. That's sort of a what-if situation that you guys might be able to incorporate into your base. Okay, moving forward. So we got a full army. Nearly full, actually. Looks like we need a couple archers. So I'll queue up our next set of our next army, but we also need one archer out of each. So we'll let those finish first. And then we're going to go on the attack. So during last video, I had 2 attacks. And then after I stopped recording, I attacked, I think, once more. So that got us up to 977 trophies. Also thanks to some recent attacks that attacked us and failed to destroy us. So we'll review those later, though, after this attack. So as soon as this army is done, which it will be in 5 seconds, 4, 3, 2, 1, full. Perfect. So, 125 troops now is our maximum. And as you see, I started this upgrade, so that is in progress to add another 5. Which means only this army camp is not maxed. So, Maybe that's another goal for the near future. So, as I was saying, let's get at it. Oh yes, we do have a shield. Goodbye, shield. Okay, good on the elixir count, which makes it a tempting target for that. Although I do prefer gold. For that reason, I'm going to pass this guy up. This one, not bad balance of the two. Some is uncollected, not a ton though. Would be worth a lot of trophies if we were able to win it, or even 1-star it. So this is actually a good example of a base which would be very easy to 1-star. I'm not going to attack it, but I'll explain this because this, if you're looking for trophies, actually, you know, I will attack it for the 1-star. I'm going to do this. Okay, now I can talk as I do. So a great strategy for when you're trying to get trophies is go for bases that you can 1-star. And all you gotta do is this. You gotta place guys where they'll just pick off buildings completely unopposed. 1 archer is all it takes. I'm not sure we can pick off these. I'm gonna try though. Yeah, this guy's gonna get shot. Maybe over here? Nope, still gonna get shot. Just try it out, learn their range. Almost certainly cannot attack this one. We can attack this one though. Well, if the guy hadn't walked over that way. See, as you saw, I placed 1 archer for this guy, and he walked left, which became into range, and then I placed the other one, and he was out of range. Oh, buildings in the corners, just free percentages to pick off. Oop, we got clan castle guys coming out. So I'll deploy some guys to help out. And I love barbarians for this purpose, they're very good. They'll be taking fire from the cannons, but that's alright. They're doing a lot of damage to the clan castle troops that are coming. When you're deploying barbarians like this, deploy them later. If you deploy them like as soon as you see the guys come out, you'll have the issue of the later archers will attack the barbarians first and will be farther back, forcing your archers to move up, which you don't want to do because then they'll start dying from the defenses. Okay, how many stars are we at? We're at 25 stars. Okay, got some to go. 28 now. So we're going to pick off a bunch over here. This mortar is under construction, so it's only this archer tower we're dealing with. So first I'm going to spread out the barbarians to soak up fire. The archer tower will kill them slowly, but it will kill them pretty slow because it'll attack the barbarians first because they're closest. Although it looks like it's 2-shotting them anyways, it doesn't really matter. Although it's 1-shotting the archers, so yeah, that is an advantage. So, as is, that brings us up to 38%. Then we decide what else we want to pick off to try to get the last bit. This one I know is slightly hurt from the previous archers we had to deploy. 50 seconds left. We're going to have to pick off some of these 3 up top here. This is deploying more troops than I would have hoped to do. Can't really help it though. I had to deploy a lot to deal with the clan castle troops, which was unfortunate, but... Oh, the bastards, they're going to leave us 1 building short. Ah, well, this is a failed attack. Well, yeah, that sucks. Can't do anything about it. Okay, so the problem here is he doesn't have any more buildings outside. I expected I was going to be able to 1-star him. As you can tell, we're very close. We're at 48% down here on the bottom left. To get 50%, we'll get our first star, which is exactly what I was aiming for, but we failed. Why did I misestimate that? I guess I thought that all of his resource buildings were outside, but look in the background here. You see these 2 were inside, and these 2 were inside. If those had been outside, obviously, it would have been a very easy 50%, but they weren't, so... as is, not terrible amount of resources, but yeah, I definitely screwed up on getting the trophies on that one. Let's go requeue that army, and then I'll show you our recent attacks. I deployed some of the goblins, I'm not sure how many. Need to check that. I think it was most of them. Need to queue 7 goblins. probably a couple more archers. Find out how many as soon as this is queued, the last two. 6 more archers. It's lagging, but I'm only queuing units, so it doesn't really matter. Okay, so let's see these recent attacks I mentioned. So. Okay. So, this is the most recent attack. The most serious attack, that is. So, we got light giants, only 5 of them. They are well upgraded, though, level 3. Level 3 archers and barbarians, and a lot of them, so pretty heavy infantry. Only 5 goblins, so pretty light there again. 4 wall breakers and 5 wizards. Interesting on the wizards. I'm curious how he's going to use them. They sort of need to be mixed in with the other infantry in order to do the appropriate amounts of damage, but let's see. I'm not really a fan of them if they're put in unsupported, so they're pretty weak, that's why. So, as you can see, he's putting down giants on the top up here, but from the red circle you can tell that they're targeting the anti-air down here. To benefit of us, all of the clan castle guys are deploying to come kick their asses. He does have the correct response here, though, deploying a bunch of archers to deal with the clan castle guys. You basically saw me do the exact same thing when I was attacking just a second ago. I deployed archers, and then I deployed a couple of barbarians at the end to deal with clan castle troops. But I did lure them away from the defenses a bit more, because they just got slaughtered by Splash. The mortar and wizard tower are going to have a party down here with these barbarians. Interesting to bring in the goblins on the bottom. I mean, there's only 10 of them. Okay, that's better. He brought in wall breakers to blow this up so they can come through. That was very smart and well-timed. Springtrap only got 3 guys, but it's not really designed for infantry, so sort of to be expected. Okay, now he's bringing in the wizards. 1 on the left, 1 on the bottom. I don't really support the decision. Yeah, another on the bottom, another on the right, 1 on the top left. That's pretty bad use of them. You can just look at them, like, look how fast this guy's going to die. I mean, sure, it takes a lot more. It took like 5 cannon hits, I counted them right there. But for their cost, they take up 4 supply if you were not aware. So, would you rather, I mean, that's just making them, like, into very expensive archers, because that archers would take the same amount of damage to kill 4 of them. So this brings up an interesting point, though. So I'm really glad that these giants deployed down here, but as you saw, he still managed to break in down here, and he had some infantry pour in. Our base failed, you could say, because he broke in, but at the same time, you could say it failed gracefully, because when he broke in, he didn't really cause chaos and havoc and completely 3-star us as soon as the walls were down. What happened was he took out 2 defenses, and that was about it. I don't think he did any damage to either of these storages, or if he did, there was very minimal. So I would say our base failed, because if you didn't know, I didn't mention it before, but we got 1 star in this situation. But it failed gracefully, so that's always good to see. Okay, so that gave us a shield, but that was a while ago. That was over a day ago. So that shield would have ran out. And he 1-starred us. I think he barely broke the 50%. Maybe that was actually why he deployed the wizards. Maybe he just needed that push over the edge. If so, I don't really blame him for that as much. Although I probably would have only deployed 1 wizard or 2 wizards and deployed them up here, where these buildings are rather undefended. As you can tell from the mortar range, this could absolutely be picked off without taking mortar damage. And this one might be from right there. Yeah, I think it probably could. So I would not have deployed 1 here, and I think it was 4 down here. I would have deployed 2 up here, maybe. But I don't like wizards, so I won't ever be doing that. Sorry, guys. Okay, so this other attack is going to be interesting. I have not viewed this one at all. So he's got 14 giants and 65 barbarians. He's a level 27. I should mention, this other guy's a 42, so I'm very happy that this level 42 army was able to be stopped. Also, I added it up during episode 5, but I cut it out, and you obviously didn't hear me talk about it because there's no audio. This is 140 guys, I believe, if I remember correctly, which is more than we can field, but not that much more, which means he's probably a bit behind on his army camp upgrades. Okay, so this attack now, by level 27, it's the one on top. All giant and all barbarian. Interesting combination. Interesting. generally you're going to want archers because they just destroy stuff over walls, and that's so effective. I haven't seen this, but I'm certainly, if I was using this army, I certainly would use the giants to soak up fire and the barbarians to do damage. The problem is with both the wizard tower and the mortar, you got to make sure that the giants and the barbarians don't occupy the same space, because then they'll all just die to splash. In our base, that's sort of a problem because okay, so I mean, you deploy giants out here, right? What do? They come straight inside here. And while they're attacking here, if you deploy barbarians at the same time, they're stuck out here on these outer buildings. So it's not an issue at first. But the barbarians will go through these buildings very quickly. All these are relatively low health, and they'll catch up to the giants pretty fast. Because those 14 giants only have the DPS of about 14 barbarians, and you've got 65 barbarians total. So if they group up, some of them will then later come in here, and they'll all be attacking this together. Okay then, let's look it up and see what he does. That's what I would be concerned about if I was attacking with his army and attacking our base. But let's figure it out. Also, I replaced the traps that were triggered between those two ones. Okay, as mentioned, he decided to deploy all of his goblins down here, or giants. He did not deploy many barbarians though, and ooh, a bunch down here. He must have thought that gold was actually a ton of gold, not like 750 that it actually was. I mean, graphically it looks very impressive. You can tell these giants are getting absolutely wrecked by the clan castle reinforcements. Looks like we only got a couple archers left, though, about 5. Okay, 3 guys just died to the spring trap. That's great news. Ooh, that's a ton of damage on those barbarians by splash. And they're just probably 20 to 30 of them died right there. These guys are getting very just confused by attacking the clan castle reinforcements, then coming back to their target. Then they ate the wizard and died. This one, I didn't see the final percentage, but it gave us a shield, so it must have broken 40, but not gotten 50. 40% is 1 star, 40% is a 12-hour shield, 50% is 1 star. So you can get a shield without being defeated, like was just the case. Yeah, I don't like his choosing to attack us with that army composition. Just looking at our base, I could not defeat my own base with that army composition, so I would not attack it. Gotta replace these defenses, though. 1 bomb up here that detonated in this last attack that you just watched, and 1 spring trap right there. Okay, great. So how's our army doing? Okay, good. Looks like we're maxed again. I'm up to 4 wall breakers. I think I was only at 2 last time. I might have been at 4. But anyways, let's queue up the replacement army and get at it. So after failing to get any trophies last time, let's try to do better this time. But of course, we're looking for resources as well. Speaking of resources, I managed to spend a bunch of resources, so you'll notice I have a couple gold walls now. I neglected to mention that at the beginning of this episode. But I've got some gold walls here, some gold walls here, and I extended the black walls a little bit out here as well. Okay then, so maxed army, let's go. Not enough resources, just off the bat. Good number of trophies though. Good amount of elixir. Wish the gold was a bit higher. His defenses seem to be a bit low leveled. He doesn't have a wizard tower. I don't think he necessarily has one though. A bunch of uncollected resources I should mention. Especially the gold. Sort of unusual. I don't think I'm going to attack this. No, I'm not. We could have 3-starred that guy, but I just don't like the resource count. This guy, on the other hand, is much higher level, with better upgraded stuff. Yeah, I was not confident we could attack that next one. Okay, so this is a classic don't do this base. This guy is unaware that you can attack from behind. How do I know that? Well, see how all of his walls like end up to the side here? Well, he clearly doesn't know that you can actually spawn guys back behind there. Which makes it a tempting target just to show him how wrong he is. Also tempting because the defenses are fairly spread out. Choices. I think I'm going to attack this. It's a bit high level. This is a higher town hall than us. One thing I'm going to check is I'm going to put down one archer out here to see if there's any clan castle guys in here. And there are, so that's a problem. I don't like clan castle guys. So I'm going to deploy my giants right here. Take out this crap. Same time I'm going to deploy guys back here. These will go, some of them will at least will go for the clan castle guys. I wish these archers I was deploying would actually attack the archer tower, but they're being bitches and not. At least most of them aren't, is what I mean. So by spawning in the back here, we were able to go straight for the resources, which was the goal. I'm not sure if we're going to be able to 3-star this guy. He does have a fairly good... I mean, he's higher level than us, so he's got a lot of defense. It sort of depends on how these giants end up doing and how long they survive. To that extent, I'm going to deploy a bunch of singleton guys out here to hopefully soak fire. So right there, you see the wizard attacks an archer. That archer takes 2 hits to kill. That's a ton. That's wasting 2 hits that could otherwise be doing splash against, for example, this group of archers. So I'm glad to have them just attack singleton archers I'm placing for that exact purpose. Looks like the giants decided that it's going to be faster to break through a wall than to walk around. I'm not really sure which would be faster, but I guess it's alright. There is a more cannon in here that is... Oops. They're about to start firing. I was hoping the giants would get to this wizard tower first, but it's not going to be the case. I don't want them to rape all the barbarians like they just did. Too late. I'm going to deploy these guys now to help with the cleanup, because we only got 40 seconds left, although there aren't that many resource buildings left. And now there's only 1 turret. Looks like we're down to 2 giants, but we got some archers coming in to help out, so that should be good, especially these ones here. Yay, that's good. Okay, what are we at? We're at 30 seconds. Yeah, we've got this in the bag. It's a close one, though. Just because he's got a lot more stuff, as you level up, I mean, you get more stuff to build, so that makes it harder to 3-star. So right there, 29 trophies. And a solid amount of resources. We saw other bases with more resources, but I was just so tempted to attack this, because we haven't attacked any really terrible bases like this before. I mean, we've attacked bases with like holes in them, but those are very obvious problems. This base just has the massive misconception that you can't spawn guys back there. A clever thought, but obviously doesn't work. And then we don't have to deploy our wall breakers because we're already behind the walls. Okay, so we've got 1 free worker, and I'm not quite sure what I'm going to have him start with. There's a couple things I want to upgrade that we can't yet. For example, this army camp. It's going to take 250,000 elixir. We are still a good ways away from that, unfortunately. We could do these elixir collectors. It just takes time, mostly. Not many resources, but it does give a very tangible benefit once it's done. I don't think I can upgrade this. Nope. All of these defenses are now maxed, except for the wizard tower, which is going to obviously cost a lot of gold, 360,000 to upgrade, and the air defense, which is also going to cost a lot of gold to upgrade, 270,000. Other than that, the mortar, cannons, and archer towers are all maxed. So I'll have to save to do that, but I guess I can spend some more gold on walls in the meantime. So I'm going to complete this right here. I can do 3 more here. I like this because these corners will be major points of attack, if attack does come. And I can use some of the last bits to start this. I think I'm going to send the worker to upgrade this elixir collector. But I can spend 5,000 before I do that. So let's do that. Then we're at 7,800. And then we can spend the 7,000 to go right there. 12 hours. Perfect. Okay, so that's going to finish up this episode, guys. Very sorry for the audio not existing in the last one. I will not upload another one if I screw up with audio again. I'll just re-record it. But at that point last night, it was either don't put up an episode or put up an episode without audio. So I decided to just put up an episode without audio. I try to have content for you guys every day. If you haven't noticed, I am uploading every day. So hope you guys enjoy it. Anyways, thank you guys very much for watching, and have a great day.